Welcome back. We're here again with your two favorite hosts, Adam and Cliff. And we are going to be talking about barefoot training and whether or not it's actually worth all the hype. Exactly. Whether it's worth all the hype. Okay. I've seen a lot of stuff on this. I'm sure you have too. It's been all over social media. I've actually got a little bit of the bug myself, incorporating it with some gates with it. But we're going to break it down, bias aside, and tell you everything that you need to know is something you should try to implement in your own training. Yeah, yeah, let's do it. All right. So when I started looking into this, the term that started coming up a lot was proprioception.
Oh, yeah, I love.
Right. So what's
Singing my language.
yeah, I'm in your real house. So from a base perspective, we're looking at where are we of our body in space.
I'm perfect.
So for a lot of untrained individuals, there's a lack of proprioception, right? There's coordination issue. There's probably some muscle imbalance if that person's injured, which I'm sure you experience all the time. There's maybe a mental group where they might not feel comfortable or strong or stable in certain positions, will do anything to stay out.
Think about this. If you were, from the day you were born, your parents put oven mitts on your hands, okay, for 8 hours a day, every day, do you think you would have the dexterity and the fine motor skills that you have today with your hands?
Interesting.
I'll leave that. Just think about that for a second.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So likewise, with that same sort of context, the main research, or there isn't a lot of research out there right now on it, so they're still developing and coming up with new studies now. A lot of it is more anecdotal. The main thing that we're seeing across most fitness professionals that are barefoot training is the increased stability and engagement in the smaller muscles that create our arch. So with we having what engaged arch that is otherwise subdued, we have a shoe or a lot of these more narrow-tipped shoes.
We have two arches, by the way. Longitudinal arch, which runs from the front of the foot to the heel. And then that's the one that most people know about, right? Yeah. Well, we have a transverse arch that runs across from the big toe to the little toe. Right, keep on.
So as a result of some of our shoes, we can narrow that space like that transverse arch. And then like you all know, a lot of these other shoes will put a false. So the muscles that are intended to actually engage that, so we're talking about tibialis posterior. So when we're looking at from a stability standpoint and actually warming up with those exercises, that's where we can get some benefit from being in advance or being able to feel the ground. Some of the cons.
Well, I think there are pros and cons, but I think it depends really on what your goals are.
Nice. Yeah.
Like if your goals are to build muscle, I think you would probably argue that if you don't have the ankle stability or ankle mobility to engage your quads properly through a squat, right? Wouldn't you say that maybe it's not the best thing to train barefoot?
Yes. So the performance goal and stuff and where your pitfalls are when you are squatting is going to be a big indicator of whether or not this is going to be the right tool. Because all these exercises are just different tools that we use in our tool belt to improve get us one step closer to our goals, get us one step closer to our performance goals or our aesthetic goals.
Now, if your goal is longevity and functionality, in my opinion, slowly weaning yourself off of this stable shoe or a shoe that provides a lot of support, I think is important. It's, that whole barefoot running craze. Okay? When that hit, I started seeing a lot of people with ankle and foot injuries that were running barefoot because they jumped from an A6 with a lot of support to a viable shoe, right? In my opinion, my professional opinion, slowly weeding off gradually is important over the course of a year to even 2 years.
So even going into Olympic weightlifters, if you're throwing up performance, so let's take the performance side of it perspective. When we are in that sheet, the weightlifting sheet, that is a superior design than just our barefoot, and designed to maximize your ability to produce friction, which we know is one of the things that creates stability for the upper chains to then get into the squat, as well as driving the heel with that lift as well. So we can get into this deeper and deeper, but I think the main takeaways are, if you are someone who some things to look for, if you are someone that lacks the stability in the ankles, you might want to not incorporate the barefoot tool. You might want to lean into it by using progressively less arch supported shoes and then working into the barefoot arch. If you're someone who is sweaty and it's difficult for them to create that friction, if you're training at commercial gyms, from a cleanliness standpoint, it might not be good to have the dogs out.
I think it would be great to do a few sets without your shoes.
Yeah.
At a lighter weight.
Yeah.
A weight that you can support. And then if you're really getting into a heavier lift, maybe put the shoes on. And then gradually what you'll notice is you'll get more stable. And with that stability, your nervous system starts to feel safer. So then that limiter, that central pattern generator in your brain that limits the amount of force production because of the lack of stability, that starts to decrease and then allows you to generate more force. So I think training with both would be ideal.
Yeah. Add it to the toolkit. Don't let it be something that's your end all be all. That would be my main thing. Like anything, it's something that you use in conjunction to lean on or start achieving.
Exactly. If you enjoyed this segment, tune in to our next segment where we
will be discussing the mental hurdles versus a physical real barrier when it comes to coming back from injury.